Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video we will study the Specific Relief Act 1963. So let's start. We will study part 3 of the Specific Relief Act chapter 7, that is Preventive Relief, Injunctions generally. Section 36. Preventive relief how granted? Preventive relief is granted at the discretion of the court by injunction, temporary or perpetual. So first understand what is preventive relief. Preventive relief means injunction. So preventive relief means injunction. Injunction can be temporary or perpetual. It can be perpetual injunction or temporary injunction. So preventive relief is granted at the discretion of the court. So if any person wants injunction, then it is the discretion of the court that court may or may not give or order injunction. So injunction are of two types: temporary injunction and perpetual injunction. Section 37. Temporary and perpetual injunctions. Subsection 1. Temporary injunctions are such as are to continue until a specified time or until the further order of the court, and they may be granted at any stage of a suit and are regulated by the Code of Civil Procedure 1908. So temporary injunction, what is the meaning of temporary injunctions? Here subsection 1 deals with temporary injunctions. So these are the injunction for a particular time period. These are not perpetual or not permanent injunction. It is granted by the court for a specified time period, and it is continue until a specified time period or until further order of the court has been made. So it is only continue, or the temporary injunction is only continue until the court make any further order, or any specific, if the court mention any particular time period for like 1 month or 3 months, then the temporary injunction would continue for that, only that 1 or 3 months, etc. And it is not any permanent injunction that if any person is it is injunction is a judicial order. It is basically a judicial order which prevents any person from doing an act or making him doing anything. So it is a preventive measures, preventive relief. So it is regulated. Temporary injunction are regulated by Code of Civil Procedure, that is CPC. So temporary injunctions are regulated by CPC as the provision mentioned under the CPC. Now subsection 2. A perpetual injunction can only be granted. So subsection 2 deals with perpetual injunction and subsection 1 deals with temporary injunctions. So a perpetual injunction can only be granted by the decree made at the hearing and upon the merit of the suit. Hearing and merit. The defendant is thereby perpetually enjoined from the assertion of a right or from a commission of an act which would be contrary to the rights of the plaintiff. So here it is, perpetual injunction is regulated under the Specific Relief Act, whereas the temporary injunctions are regulated under CPC, the Code of Civil Procedure. It is very important. So now it is saying that the perpetual, the word perpetual means permanent. So perpetual injunction means permanent injunction. It can only be granted by the decree. So temporary injunction is granted as a order or by a order, but it is the final decision of the court. Perpetual injunction are the final decision or final decree of the court, and this temporary or permanent or perpetual injunction are granted after the hearing and upon the merit of the suit. It is the decree which is granted after the hearing of the matter and on the merit of the suit. So it is the decree which is it is the decree which is passed by the court. The defendant is thereby perpetually enjoined from the assertion of a right or from commission of an act. So he is, the defendant would be permanently adjoined or prevented from doing a particular act or such thing, and which would be contrary to the right of the plaintiff. And it is saying that defendant would be permanently prevented from doing any particular act which could be contrary to the right of the plaintiff, that would be against the interest of the right of the plaintiff. So defendant will be permanently prevented from doing any such act. So now for the conclusion, section 36 says that preventive relief, how it is granted, it is the discretion of the court, and the preventive relief means injunction. Injunctions are of two types, temporary and perpetual. And section 37 says that it defines the two injunctions, that is temporary and perpetual injunctions. Subsection 1 of section 37 deals with temporary injunction, which is temporary in nature and which is continue until the further order of the court is made, and it is regulated by the Code of Civil Procedure, that is CPC. And subsection 2 deals with perpetual injunction, which is also known as permanent injunction, which can be only granted by the decree made by the court after the hearing of such matter and upon the merit of the suit, which is permanent in nature, and the defendant against whom such perpetual injunction has been granted is permanently prevented from doing any act which could be contrary to the rights of the plaintiff, or which could be against the interest of against the rights of such plaintiff. So he is permanently prevented from doing such act, and it is regulated, that is perpetual injunctions are regulated under the Specific Relief Act 1963.